How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? Here, the first-person pronoun I refers to the Son of God in heaven, that is, the Messiah Jesus. In other words, David writes today's text as if he himself were the Messiah Jesus. No, the Messiah Jesus in heaven, through David's lips, proclaims the death on the cross, burial in the tomb, and resurrection that will occur when he himself comes to this earth. In other words, these words can be said to be the prayer of the Messiah Jesus, who died on the cross, shed his blood, and was buried in the tomb. However, this sentence is a rhetorical question, not expecting an answer, rather, it emphasizes the expected answer. In other words, the words of the Messiah Jesus, "How long, Lord, will you forget me forever?" mean that God will never forget me. And the words, "How long will you hide your face from me?" mean that God will never hide his grace from me. What do you think? The Messiah Jesus is now crucified, bleeding, dead, buried, and lying in the tomb. Yet, the Messiah Jesus is not at all discouraged or disappointed. Rather, we see him filled with faith and assurance that God will be with him, that God will bestow his grace. Even though he himself is now lying in the tomb, God will not forget the Messiah Jesus himself, nor will he hide his grace. In fact, he will soon hear his own prayer, answer it, and raise him up again. So, where did this faith and assurance of the Messiah Jesus come from? It comes from the covenant of redemption made with God the Father from eternity past. That is, we can confirm that Jesus, God the Son, and God the Father made a covenant of redemption to save his people from eternity past. No, the Bible speaks of this countless times. No, one of those covenants of redemption was that when the time came, God the Son, Jesus, would come to this earth in the flesh, shed his blood on the cross, and die. God the Father would raise Jesus, the Messiah, from the dead. Therefore, even though Jesus, the Messiah, was now lying in the grave, looking forward to this covenant, he was filled with faith and certainty that God would surely raise him from the dead.
If you want to know more, please subscribe.